Hello, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Solola. I usually go by Liz for those who don't know me already. And welcome to the 4th episode of OOOSIE StoryBook Talks. Today's episode is the chapter of beauty. So we're going to be talking about beauty standards and just the scale of 1 to 10 and rating and just like
everything.
Yeah, I have a special guest with me today, so.
Hi guys, my name is Miebi. I'm just like...
Miebi is one of my good friends, and I know she has a really great perspective on this topic, so I thought I'd have her for today's conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, good, no problem, anytime. Okay, wait, I have a question of you. What do you think of, for you, what do you think of the ratings of the scale of 1 to 10? Like, in my opinion, the scale of 1 to 10, like the rating people whole trend that's going on, I don't know how I feel about it. What do you think?
Wow. Starting from the beginning, I think like rating people is like something that has always happened because like your face, your body, that's literally what people see at first glance.
That's true.
And of course, like there's already like a built up societal preference on what people would like to see. And there's some people that like have the facial harmony and whatnot that they always talk about and what it means being attractive. And as much as we do say everyone is beautiful in their own way, there's a way of presentation that makes you more attractive looking to people compared to the other. So in terms of rating, it's not fun to be rated.
No, it's not
at all.
Especially if
it's not
like, a nice number.
Exactly. If you get a 3.
If it's anything below 7.5, I think even a 7.
Even 7.
It's like someone's calling you average. But it's kind of funny the 7 is the average and not 5. You know, did you notice that? Like when people are like, oh, what would you rate this person? You're like, I guess a 7. But it's like when they say 7, they're talking about average, but technically the average is supposed to be 5. But when someone rates you a 5, they're calling you ugly at that point. Like you barely just reached it. So it's like it's kind of confusing. Like, is 7 the new average? So technically is 8 even good? Like, you know, how, like, I don't know, rating people it just feels weird to someone be like, oh, what would you rate this person on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm like, oh, a 10, a 7, an 8. Like, how do you like? Is there like? How does that even measure out? Like, how do you measure somebody? Like, do you look at like how wide their hips is and their face and how nice their abs are? Like, how do you rate somebody?
People have different metrics for rating. I think like in terms of me, I don't see people and say, oh, you're a 6, you're an 8, or something like that. Like, I personally wouldn't do that. But I'm talking about people that see, like, let's say we have, oh my God, look at this guy I'm talking to. That kind of thing.
What would you rate it?
That kind of thing. What you look out for specifically is like, in terms of picture quality, you talk about, okay, how are you posing? Like, first vibe of everything like that. Even before the looks, is like, how does this person present themselves through their pictures and whatnot? So we have, in terms of appearance, we have like different ways where people would like view attractiveness, things like the whole psychological thing I read up of how like the eye space, the width, the shapes of your nose and all those things, like the shape of your jaw and all that contributes to how pretty you are and your attractive scale. You've seen like so many celebrities, like those people on TikTok that will be like, shaping celebrities to the beauty standard, and then there's like a whole mold that they'll stretch their faces into.
Yes,
right?
I've seen that. Like the filters, right? Like the bold glamour filter and how it's like supposed to bring out your model features and things like that.
So in terms of rating in itself, it's something that I see people do. Like, it's something that has been done because of, okay, you're pretty, but like, how pretty are you? And then like I've seen like so many videos where rating beauty is like a different scale, and then there are different terms: pretty, gorgeous, cute, hot, sexy.
Like the way I can imagine characteristics that would go in each trait. Like, I know hot is usually focusing on the body, and that's why a lot of women don't like being called hot anymore. You know what I mean? Like, before it used to be like such a compliment if somebody calls me hot. I mean, I'd like that. I'd like to know I'm sexy, but it's like one of those things that it's kind of degrading a little bit. It's like kind of like they're just measuring my attractiveness with my body, but then cute, it's kind of like more like your face, right? Like chubby cheeks and like a nice smile, like an innocent look. And then like pretty is kind of just like, wow, like kind of like that awe. I feel like pretty and beautiful is kind of like more
the best
categorized in the same
personality.
But then there's gorgeous and stunning. And that's like, whoa, like supermodel type thing. Like, oh,
extraordinary
like, this is the
beauty.
most beautiful person I've ever seen. And I feel like the way we can kind of imagine features that would go in each category is kind of like, then where does the average human fit in? Like, are they just, do they fit in? And does one person fit in on at least one? Or what if you don't fit in any? What if you're not cute and you're not considered hot and you're not considered pretty? Like, what are you? And are you just ugly?
No.
You
ugly?
know? I don't think anyone made by God is ugly. I feel like that also blends in with preferences too.
Ugly is that, like I saw this on TikTok though, that ugly is like the combination, like genetical combination has never been seen before. So they don't have any other word to describe it than ugly.
Like abnormal.
Exactly. Like they've never seen you before. So
wow, you're different.
Yeah.
You're different. You are. No, but like, would you rather be called ugly or like, you are something on this planet? Like, you are a creation that I've never seen before. That sounds
that
like
is worse. I swear to God, just call me ugly.
At that point,
like, you know the Nella Rose thing. He looks like he snuck onto Earth.
Yo, that insult is greater.
No.
But you know what I realized? That a lot of people it's usually towards men that we use those insults to. You know what I mean? Like, wow, he looks like he looks like he just barely made it. And it's just kind of like one of those things that I realized that the beauty standards for men is different for women than for women, you know? I feel like it's really rare that a man gets called beautiful. You know what I mean? It's usually more that he calls handsome or hot or what else do they call men? Cute? Yeah, cute. Yeah. I feel like even men have less words being described. I mean, yeah, you can call a man gorgeous. I'm not saying you can't. But I feel like it's used less. You know, they don't really call men gorgeous as much as women call women gorgeous or men call women gorgeous. And I think that's just about how we're created also. I feel like on the attraction level, women are like more pretty than men. Like, you see the average woman and you see the average man. I mean, they both have their versions of beautiful, but I feel like when you're talking about like beauty, like, you know what I mean? Am I making sense? Yeah. Like pretty, like when you're talking about attraction, like, woo, it's usually more leaning towards women. Yeah, and I feel like that's why I would say you see a lot of mixtures between, I feel like that's why a lot of women don't even look at appearance when they're going for partners. I feel like you see the complex, the duo of like a so-called ugly man with a really pretty girl. And I feel like a lot of people are usually like, oh, you know, he's rich probably, or like, you know, he must have a really good personality, or you must treat her like a queen. You know what I mean? And you see those mixtures of really pretty women with not as attractive men. You know that he has something to offer for her. But it's like, if a woman is not as pretty and she's with a really so-called gorgeous man or a really handsome man or a man that a lot of women are attracted to, a lot of women are like, what does she have to offer? Like, beauty is the only thing we have to offer, you know? Or I guess she must cook well, or she must do chores, she must have a good birth-giving body. I don't know, like how do people look at a woman and, you know, they see her as not as attractive and be like, oh, what does she have to offer? Like, you can do better, you know, like, why are you with her? But like, if we see a pretty woman with not attractive men, we already kind of make conclusions for that, you know, like, oh, he probably treats her well, oh, he must have money, oh, he must treat her like a queen. Why is that? Like, why does that exist? You know, why can't that be the same for women? Why is beauty the only thing that people think women have to offer? You know? Like, I don't know, what do you think regarding that?
Tying into the beauty standards and things that are expected of women, the whole idea of women being beautiful is because that was the only thing that they were being able to offer. They couldn't do jobs, they couldn't work, they couldn't do anything that made them like self-reliant or self-independent or whatnot. They literally had to depend on a man. And then you look at the various men that had the privilege of doing these things, having the the choice to pick the wife that they want, and then it's just like society and like things like that. But slowly but surely we're like slowly like bringing everything back, but of course it's still there. When we see like popular people anywhere, like most likely they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to listen to you because you're pretty. Oh, I like what you're doing because you're pretty. Like that kind of thing.
Like TikTok. You can tell like a lot of people just trend if they are lip syncing to a song because they're nice to look at. People will stay for the entire video, not because of the song, but because of the person.
And you have like, again, the levels of attractiveness varies. Someone with a wonderful like full glam makeup and someone that's just barefaced and everything like that, they're doing the exact same thing, yet the person with makeup will get more views and more interactions because of the attractiveness,
because they're enhancing their features with that makeup. I feel like it's also kind of, do you notice that low-key growing up with beauty standards are really starting to affect our generation, especially now with social media on the skyline? I feel like, especially in this generation now, we see like 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, full face glam makeup. They're doing facial beats. Don't get me wrong, they're eating it up, but it's like, it's scary that they're eating up at that age. That means you started like at a really young age. I started makeup maybe when I was in grade 8. That's when I actually started makeup, and even then I couldn't get my foundation shade right. But that's also because there was no affordable foundation shade that was my shade. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like also growing up as a dark-skinned woman, it's really hard to find your shade. You know what I mean? And things like that. But that's a whole topic on its own. I feel like just growing up with beauty standards and everything and trying to look pretty and trying to look good, trying to look attractive is really hard, and it affects a lot of women. You know what I mean? And I feel like even when you're younger, girls have crushes on guys because the moment he treats her nice, or the moment he does something good for her, suddenly you see like, oh my gosh, I'm attracted to this person, I have a crush on this person. But it's never the same for girls, you know what I mean? It's usually, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. And that's why I feel like beauty standards, growing up with that, it really affects it, because at a young age, you feel like you know what I mean? You're learning your worth. You're starting to learn your worth. You know what I mean? And when you're growing up, seeing on social media all these versions of how to get your worth, like, oh, put on makeup, put on mascara, put on foundation, concealer. The fact that we see 13-year-olds who know how to do a full face beat, and they're wearing that on a daily basis, and they're looking grown because of that, it's starting to get sad, because it's like, even children are losing their childhood because of beauty standards, because of society, because of the normalization in, changing your appearance to look beautiful. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate makeup. I love makeup. I'm wearing makeup right now, and I eat it every time. But just having beauty standards that are so unrealistic, like, some beauty standards you can't even achieve without surgery, and I feel like that's where the normalization of plastic surgeries have become. You're not thick, get a BBL. You don't have full lips, get a lip filler. You don't have the right nose, get a nose job. It's easy, no excuse to being ugly, that's what they say. So now it's encouraging people to want to reconstruct themselves, when, in my opinion, I feel like maybe beauty standards shouldn't be looking so objectively. Maybe that's when people will, I don't know.
My biggest question is, why does everyone want to look alike?
That's true.
Like, why does everyone want
that is a good
full
question.
lips? Why does everyone want the bigger butt? Why? Like, I feel like the whole essence of being humans is the fact that we are ranging, diverse, like so many possibilities. And for everyone to want just one thing, it's not possible. And yeah, I'm not here to like look down on surgery, especially because like I mean, if you feel that this is something that can make you more confident, because again, beauty is what like it's beauty and confidence too. Exactly, it's like
they are together.
Hand in hand.
They are actually together.
Exactly. They're so together. Like with beauty standards and how like us we grew up compared to people born in 2010. Ooh. Compared to us and people born in 2010, like these younger kids, they don't have like this awkward tween era.
They don't. Where is their awkward tween era? Where's the highlight that goes everywhere? The unmatching foundation shade, the mascara that is not mascara-ing, the false lashes that are not on your eyelids, the Barbie shirt that you wear every single day, the Justice shirt. Justice is at Justice is at Walmart now. Why is Justice at Walmart? Justice used to be like the Gucci of our time. I'm so confused. Like, what is going on? So, where's their awkward tween stage? Where's the uncontrollable, unmatching fashion senses? Everybody knows how to dress now. I've been seeing 12, 13-year-olds dress better than me. I'm like, what in the world? My bar is suddenly like increased by 20 because of this new generation. It's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie, because it's very heartbreaking when you see a 13-year-old dress better than you constantly. You know, like it hurts a lot.
With the lack of space, they with the lack like you. Sorry, go. With the lack of spaces these children have, is like, what media are they fed with? Like, they're over consuming heavily curated content of stunning individuals that most likely have done surgery, and they wouldn't, like, the thing is, you can have the surgery, but you going out of your way saying, oh yeah, it's natural, babes, that really you have people looking up to you, and you have people looking up to you saying that, oh my god, I want to be as pretty as this person. And you know the whole saying that you're not ugly, you're just poor.
No, I felt that in my soul. No,
that like you need to have money for you to get procedures, for you to buy the makeup, for you to get like clothes, get all these things. But at the end of the day, I'm the number one defender for like individualism, and like everyone is beautiful. Actually, everyone is beautiful. And it's just, how confident are you in your own face, in your own self, in your own personality, that makes it like different from other people.
I think the thing about beauty is that, yes, everybody is beautiful, but not everybody is everybody's preference.
Or not everyone is attractive.
Okay, that too. That is true too. Because it's like, for example, you can look at someone and you can be like, oh, wow. You have really nice eyes. You're beautiful. Like, you're made in God's image. You're together. Wait. I was gonna kill it.
I'm about to kill it.
I was about to kill it. Okay. You're made in God's image. You're beautiful, but you might not want to marry that person. You might not. That person might not be. Because have you ever seen somebody so attractive and be like, oh my gosh, that's the love of my life. I want to marry them.
Like when I see gorgeous
people,
my breath,
it actually takes away
my breath.
But then you also have to wonder that, like, also with beauty standards and like celebrities and everything, like, have you ever seen like the younger versions of celebrities? They look like average people because they are average people. They're normal people. Again, you're not beauty. You're just broke. You're not ugly. You're just broke. You know what I mean? I feel like, is it just me, or does fame also elevate someone's beauty?
Fame elevates someone's beauty.
Yeah, like, suddenly somebody that person's attractive, don't get me wrong, like, or like they look good, but it's like suddenly like, wow, that person's the most beautiful person in the world, and you're just like, they look good, but I don't think
they don't like them because of their looks. They like them because of their personality.
Yeah, but a lot of people they won't say that. They'll be like, oh my gosh, this is the hottest person I've ever seen. This is the most, and multiple people will say that. You do? Huh? You can't say that out loud. Yeah. No, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Me personally, if he went to my school, I would look at that. I'd be like, hi. I mean, you have a nice jawline, but I won't. I mean, how many people have nice jawlines? They won't get it. Will they get it? I'm scared. But like, you have a nice jawline, but I'm not gonna double look. Maybe like I've seen plenty of attractive people who have nice jawlines, and I notice some people. I look at them and I'm like, wow, if you were famous, you'll have women kissing your feet. I'm just saying, you would have them all over you. Because I noticed that a lot of like preferences and types and everything also are compared to celebrities, and I feel that's also what affects beauty standards. Like I noticed that a lot of black men expect every black woman to look like SZA or like Megan Thee Stallion. Like you must have a very nice curved figure body and face beat to the gods, and your hair must be always on point and this that, and I'm just like, oh, well, that's nice to be compared to. I'm just, like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's also one of these things where it's like, I notice that the go-to compliments for black women is always like, oh my gosh, you look like SZA. Oh my gosh, you look like Summer Walker. And it's like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's a compliment. Like, they're beautiful women. But it kind of is like, it's kind of like,
And it's just a babe with full lips.
Yeah, it's like it kind of increases the comparison. It's kind of like now every black woman must look like these people, or because I've seen a video where it's like this person was like, oh, I would not date any other black women apart from the ones that look like SZA and Summer Walker and Zendaya and things like that. And I feel like with preferences and everything, I don't know. I feel like it's. Me personally, I've seen everybody of every race attractive. Like, I've seen a good-looking person, an attractive person in every race. I think that your ethnicity shouldn't really be a preference, but that's just my opinion. I feel like if you see someone attractive, you see someone attractive. Like, why? I'm not saying you can't have a type. You can't be like, oh, like, like, I only prefer to date for black women.
What's different is when you say, I'm not going to date this person.
Yeah, because of their race. Yeah. I think that's kind of like a lot. Like, I'm not going to date a black woman because of their race, because they're black. Like, or I'm not going to date an Asian person or an Indian person or this person or that person. I feel like that's when it's like, it starts to like it's like you just went from just absolutely no chance, like type thing, like, just because of something you can't control, just because of your race. Because I remember growing up in, a predominantly white school, it was always because of my race, like, it was always because, the black men wouldn't date black women. It was always because they weren't attractive. They weren't the boys. Boys. They were not attractive. They were not attracted to us, you know what I mean? Because of our skin color. And that also hurts your self-worth, It wasn't until I got to Toronto where it's like suddenly people wanted black women. I was like, oh, you like us? Wow, crazy. Or social media. Social media made me see that they liked us. Without social media, I would think people were actually attracted to black people. Like, I actually thought they just didn't like us. Even black people. Like, I've seen black men actually bash black women, and it's always so self-determinating.
Detrimental?
Yeah, that word. Yeah, self-detrimental. I don't know. I just feel like beauty standards are so weird. They are so weird, in my opinion.
They are.
It's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I started to feel like black women started to become a trend lately.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think regarding that?
Being a trend. Like, our whole existence has always been, like, shoved down in media, right? I mean, like, to the statistics, of course, like, white men dominate media, and, like, the lowest would be, like, indigenous people of North America will have the least media coverage. White men, and this is like just in Hollywood media though. Of course, like, we have our own individual things going on, but like in Hollywood itself, so we have like white men, white women, then probably Asian men, Asian women, then black men, black women, and all that, and indigenous people. Of course, there are other races of people like Latinos, but I don't know where they would actually fit. Latinos, Middle Easterns, even like indigenous.
I feel like that's a whole statistics that you have to look at. Yeah, but there are statistics on it.
But those are the
media coverage.
So for Black women who like we barely had representation in our cartoons or anything. Like, like we just had like one
Black person for diversity.
Exactly, and it was like
the funny
Wings
Black
Club.
person. Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, Aisha. Oh my gosh, I loved her. I looked up to her because she was the only person to look up to. But still,
icon.
Yeah, no, literally.
There was like this rendition of like the Archie comics, and then one of them, Josie from the Pussycats.
Yeah, she was Black.
She was Black too. So So in terms of being a trend, it's not really something I see. Like, I don't really see it as a trend. I just feel like Black women are coming up into the surface more and more in media.
I hope so. I hope it's not a trend because I've started to see a pattern. You know what I mean?
Of course, let's like move fetishization.
Okay, yeah, that one is a whole separate.
But like,
category.
let's talk about like the achievements of, let's say, like Marseille Martin and Issa Rae, people who people that advocate for like average looking black people,
women,
like that are dominating the screen and having their own things going on. I feel like in that case, with more like the rise of these people is going to like make people see, like actually view us for who we are. And there's also like this racial thing in it, that if you are in any piece of media as a Black person compared to other races, you are unconsciously supposed to be better in a way.
You're supposed to be 10 times better.
Yeah.
So, otherwise you're not gonna be seen. You're not gonna be recognized.
Exactly. So there's like this whole performative thing at that. So that's where the beauty comes in. Like SZA, being an extraordinarily beautiful woman,
is being compared to
love your SZA. No,
right? I love SZA so much. No hate towards her.
Anyway, but like she is like the standard now because that's how like they expect all Black women to look like, right? And that's
no, that's just so frustrating, man. It is frustrating because it's like, how can it? Don't get me wrong, like just being like a regular person, why are you being compared to someone who's above and beyond, like, and also have had surgeries too, you know what I mean, on top of that. So it's like the beauty standards is just off the chart. It's like, how do you expect natural beauty to look like someone who obviously can afford having work done and has had work done? Don't get me wrong, she's still gorgeous, but it's like being compared to that as somebody who doesn't have, a young girl who doesn't have any work done and is just trying to be considered beautiful, but because you're being compared to Hollywood's finest, you know, it's a lot, you know? It's sad. I really hope that, I don't even know what I hope. I hope society gets better, but it never will it?
I feel like societal change or systemic change starts individually. So for you to influence a group, you have to already put away your prejudice. And that like takes a lot, especially for older generations who were literally taught that, you know, Black people aren't that pretty. But it's weird though, because like at the end of the day, beauty standards, like everything we've talked about, there is no solution now, is there? At the end of the day, people will still see people how they'll see them. People will still rate them how they'll rate them.
Scales will still exist.
Scales will be there and whatnot. The beauty standard always changes.
Always changes.
Guy, am I frog pretty or deer pretty?
The bunny eyes versus siren eyes or something like that. Oh my gosh.
Doe versus siren eyes.
TikTok got me. I just can't with that app sometimes. It's like, it's so stupid, but it's so entertaining.
Exactly, because like human beings, we are literally doing the most.
We are
in terms of like classification and finding your community and whatnot. Like, as much as people are saying, oh, we're all together, unconsciously, you will always like gravitate towards like similar people or similar minded like that. So with these distinctions of the various aesthetics that we talked about that one time, you should watch my documentary that I had on it, perfectly curated.
Yes.
It will be on my YouTube channel very soon. And Liz was one of the interviewees. So,
I did.
Yeah.
It was
so
amazing.
In the documentary, basically, we did talk about the aesthetics and how that deals with people's well-being altogether, and how that constantly changes because of these raging trends that happen. Yeah. So at the end of the day, the discussion just remains like, what exactly does beauty mean to you? And how do you like navigate that? And it's okay. Like, it's okay not to care about like a lot of things in terms of makeup, in terms of like hair, a lot of things. It's kind of okay. It's kind of just like managing everything and being the best version of yourself.
Yeah, I think that's important. Love yourself, guys. Don't wait for someone else to love you, because the society is horrible and they might not. Hard truth, but they might not. Not everybody might love you. Society is really, really hard, honestly. And I feel like at the end of the day, you just need to love yourself the most you can, because the person who love yourself the most is maybe your parents and you. Hopefully your parents and you. That was good. That is my episode, guys. That's episode 4 on the story of beauty with Miebi. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in chapter 5. Bye.
Bye.